So today we are going to discuss about JavaScript. Anybody heard this? What is JavaScript? What is
Like business code.
like code? Okay,
Yep.
business code. Why we need JavaScript?
To able to perform the validations.
Okay, where this business rule will execute
Field level
at client side.
a client.
JavaScript contains business logic. We use this business logic to perform the validation. Where this validation will trigger at client side. See, you know client side, right? There will the business operation, the logic will execute at two ways. One will execute at the client side, one will execute at the server side. What is the client side execution? What is the server side execution? The client side execution means within your browser the client side will be executed. Okay, so we have seen the example while discussing about the business rule. So if we set the business rule scope to you forms or all forms, then we import the data from Excel. At that time, business rule will not be triggered because business rule with scope, all forms or individual main form will execute at client side. When we change the scope to server side, then it will execute because the scope with entity business rule will execute at server side. Okay, so when we manually perform within our browser, then the client side validation will execute. Server side validation will execute at the server end. Okay, client side means in your local machine, server side means in the server. So why we need business rule? We can perform multiple validation. We have business rule. What is the purpose of business rule? Business rule also out of the box validations, right? If we have business rule which is doing the validation, then why we require JavaScript? If you remember, while discussing the business rule, I told business rule will business rules are out of the box validation which can be used on fields only. Used on fields only. Now let's say if we have a requirement here. Now you open a new case or based on some case, based on some condition, you want to hide these tabs, detail tab, case relationship tab. You want to hide them. Then how we will do? Using business rule we cannot do because business rule will only perform the validation for the fields, not for the forms, tabs, sections, login users are different. If you want to show an alert, then the business rule will not be applicable. If you want to hide this tab, details tab, you cannot do it. If you want to hide this section, additional detail section, you cannot do it using the business rule. Okay, so using JavaScript, we can perform extended business logic like hiding tab, uh, hide and show a tab, hide or show a tab, hide or show a section, alert messages, notifications, forms, retrieving related entity data, and so on. We can perform the extended business logic. See, in JavaScript, in business rule, we are doing what we are doing, actions, what we have lock unlock, changing the business requirement like required to optional, optional to required, showing error message, setting default value, and showing the recommendation. Apart from this, we cannot perform different action using the business rule. Where in JavaScript, we can perform multiple operation. Now, I'm saying JavaScript is a code, business code, right? Every code will have a syntax. Every code will have a syntax. What is the JavaScript syntax? So function, we call JavaScript as a function. If we have 10 validation for 10 different conditions, then what you will do, you will create 10 function. If you have a one validation for 10 different conditions, what you will do, one function you will write and you will applicable this one function on 10 condition. 10 condition, 10 different action means then we have to create every function as a individual function for individual condition. So what is the syntax? Function, function name, brackets, function is a keyword. You have to write this like this only. F will be a small it's not a capital letter. Function is a keyword. Function name, you can give any function name, it's up to you. Then you have to use this bracket, and after this the function will be started at the flower bracket open, and apply your business logic and close your function. So within this function we have written this logic. Now uh, we have to apply this function in our conditions. So for example, function, my function name is um, set value. Say, right, tab. This is my function name, and here I will write code to hide the tab. Just a second. Yeah, sorry. So this is the JavaScript syntax. Now how we will use the code? In CRM, JavaScript is JavaScript implemented on XRM.page framework. XRM.page. Okay. So in this XRM.page, we can use our function to get the value, to set the value, to hide a tab, to show a notification, to retrieve the data from different entity to show the notification, we will use this xrm.page framework. So I'll just show you how this will work. If you see this code xrm.page, for every code it will be xrm.page. Under xrm.page, get attribute is a method which will get the attribute. How it will get? We have to pass the field name. Okay, so now the get attribute will get the attribute, but under get attribute we have get value. Get value, what it will do? It will get the value inside the field. I will show you. So we'll use this function name. Function name I will give it as let's open the contacts. Everyone, please enable this extension. We call this extension as a level up for Dynamics 365 Power Apps. So once you search this, you will get the first link, chrome.google. When you open this, you have to add the extension. Since I have added, it is showing me for removal. You try to add it. How this will benefit, I will explain you. Okay. So now our requirement is okay, simple. Let's say if the customer enter first name and last name, we will get the first name, we will get the last name, and we will use this first name and last name in the email. We will automatically set the email. Now set email is my function name. I will use the parenthesis like this. Now what I'll do, what I need to do, I need to get the value from the first name field. So what is the code? XRM dot page dot get attribute dot get value. This is the syntax to get the any field value. What we need to pass here? We are using xrm dot page dot get attribute. So get attribute will get the attribute. Which attribute it will get? Whatever value we will pass here. What value we need to pass? Field logical name, field schema name.
First name.
First name. I cannot pass first name like this. Why? Can you tell me the reason? What I'll do, if I create another field as a first name and I'll place it in the form, then how the system will identify? There should be a unique name. Correct? When you create any field, you will a field will be created with SBI underscore first name, right? That name, that is the schema name. How you will get the schema name? Either you can get it from the solution, or if you have this level up, once you click on this, if you click on logical names, then all logical names for the fields tabs will be displayed. So I need to get this first name, copy, paste. Right? Then I'll use the same code. What I need to get here? Last name. Copy, paste. Now we have created this function. We have written this two-line code to get one line. The first line will get the value from this first name field. The second line will get the value from last name field. Now where I need to store these values? See,
In email.
I'm simply getting the field. I'm not storing in anywhere. So to store this value, I will create a variable where first name. You can give any name here. Name, first name. I'll create another variable, last name. So first name in the variable f name, xrm.page. All this code will execute, and this get value will be stored in this variable. So this value will be stored in the this last name value will stored in the last name variable. Okay. Now what I need to do? I need to set the email. Same code, xrm.page. Instead of get value, we need to use set value because we are setting the email field. xrm.page.get attribute, which attribute we need to set the value? Email address. Just copy this scheme logical name, paste it here, then set value. What value we need to set?
First name, last name.
First name will be stored in this variable. Okay. Then last name, then at gmail.com. Will this work? Okay. See here, I'm just using the browser console. Press F12, the browser console will be open. I'm creating a var first name is equals to, I'm giving as a test. Enter. If you want to get the first name, what is there in this? If I search for F name, if I hit enter, then in F first name, I have test. Same way, I will create another variable as last name. Here I will set test contact. What is last name? I have first name as test, last name as contact. If I set F name, what I'm getting? First name, last name is not defined. So we need to club these values. First name value, last name value. What I need to do? First name plus last name. I club this value, then it is a test contact. For these two values, what I need to club as extra? Plus at gmail.com. Now this suits our requirement. Why I am passing this value in double quote? Why not this value in double quote? Try to understand. Why I am passing at gmail.com in double quotes? Why not the first name and last name? Because the first name, last name I already defined. I'm getting the value from first name and last name. For these values, I'm hard coding the first name, last name at gmail.com. Nowhere I cannot fetch at gmail.com. So that's why I'm using this double quotes to hard code the value. Now with this example, first name, it should be club with concatenate. We say concatenate plus we are getting first name here, last name here. Nowhere I can use at gmail.com simply. So whatever values we are fetching, we can use without double quotes, but whatever value we need to hard code, we have to pass it in the double quotes. Okay. Now our function is ready. Function name, the first name, last name, and we are setting the value. Why I am not storing any variable here? Here I created variable as a first name, variable as a last name. Why I am not creating any variable in this line? Simple. We are getting the value. Once we get the value, we need somewhere to store. Here, for this get values, we are setting the value. We are already setting. Why we need to store? It doesn't require. Okay. So now just copy this function. How to register in the CRM? First of all, we have to navigate to the solution. Understood this code? Function name, first name, last name, and I'm setting this first name, last name in the email.
Yes, sir.
Everyone, please try to understand because this is the basic. We will be using all same way, you know. Even if it takes 1 2 classes, that will be fine. But I want everyone to understand this. So once you understood, then you yourself will practice. You don't need any help. Now how I'll tell you how to register the JavaScript. So JavaScript will be registered in the web resources. Click on web resources, click new. I'll say contact JS, contact JavaScript, contact JavaScript. So type is, these are the web resources. I will explain each one. First, we are going to discuss about JavaScript. So once we select the JavaScript, click on text editor. The code that we have written will paste here. Copy. Okay. Save. Publish. Okay. Now we have created the JavaScript. We publish that JavaScript in the CRM. Now will it work? It will not work because we simply created the JavaScript. We haven't configured when this will execute, where this will execute. Once we create the JavaScript, we have to open the entity. In that entity, we need to register this function. So in which entity we have written contact. So I will add the contact entity to my solution. Click on entities. Contact is already available. I will click on add existing entity. Contact. I will add this information form. Okay. Now let's open the contact entity form, information form. Now how to register this JavaScript? Once you open the form, you will see a form properties. Open the form properties, add the library, the JavaScript, click on add. Add the contact JavaScript that we have created. Added here. Now we have added the JavaScript. Now we will register the function. So we have different events. We have different component. For each component, or I can say control, for every control, there will be an event. Form. Form is a control. Form events are on load, on save. We have fields. Field event is on change. On change of the field, if we need to execute any JavaScript function, we have to register on field on change. During form loaded, when we need to execute any function, we have to register that function on onload. On save, if we want to do, we have to we have to register our function on save. Similarly, we have tabs and section. For tab state change. If you see the control, form, apps, fields. If I select form, events are onload, on save. For form, onload, and unsave. If I select the tabs, tab state change. If I select fields, on change. Okay. Now our requirement, we will keep it on form on save. Once we are saving the form, then this value will be set. I have selected the form control event as on save. Click on add. Here we need to add the function. What is our function name? Set email. Okay. And make sure where the set email function available in this JavaScript. Okay. Once you set, click OK, save. Publish. Let's open contact. Let's refresh the form. Now I'll give first name, email is empty. If I click save, email is not set. Let's refresh it again. Okay, it's not working. Let's check why. So we have added in information form. Let's see what other forms we have. General information details, right? Okay, I think this is not the form. Let's close this and we'll add the form. Main. This is the form. If you see here, form name is contact. We have added information form. Let's try to add contact and see once again. The contact, I'll simply perform the same action. What I need to do, I need to go into contact information. So we have general information. Hmm, Summary tab, details tab related. Summary tab, details tab. What else we have? Okay, let's try to add it here. Forms, full name. Let's try to add all main forms. Then we will check. I'll sort by main form. We have seen information and contact. Let's check contact for interactive experience. First name, last name. First name, last name, account name. I think this is the one. First name recommended, last name mandatory. I think this is the one. We'll try to add our function here. First, I will register the script on save function. Function name is set email copy paste. Save, publish. Okay, it's published. Let's refresh. When you publish the JavaScript, if you want to refresh once you update the JavaScript, if you want to refresh to reflect the JavaScript, then don't keep just F5 to refresh. You need to do the hard refresh, control F5. Okay, then only the script will be published. I have updated James K. Let's save now. Yeah, if you see the email got set here. If I update it to J, I save, it is updating. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, for example, okay, we'll try to do one thing. So if account name have any data, then we will show this related tab. Otherwise, we will hide this section, related section. Now you have to tell me what I need to do. Condition is account field contains data. Account name is not equals to null. Then show this. If account is null, hide this. Tell me. The first thing is we need to write a function. Function name, hide related section. This is my function name. Now
Variable.
variable. Okay, variable. You can give the variable name as account.
Account. XRM.page.
Okay, I'll simply copy all this and I'll replace
Account with
account name. Okay, this one.
account.
To get that logical name, click on logical names. So this is the parent customer ID is the logical name for this account name field. I will paste it. Okay. So this will get the value in the account field They will check if condition, if account is equals to null, as account is equals to null, then what we need to do, we need to hide the section. How to hide the section? Again, xrm.page, where sections will be present. I'll hide section, xrm.page ui dot tabs. Why I am using tabs here? Because section will present under the tab. xrm.page.ui.tabs, under tabs get dot sections dot get sections dot get. Which section name we want to hide, we need to use this xrm.page ui dot tabs, in which tab the section is present, and section that we need to hide set visible to true or false. Okay, now let's see this. This is the form. Okay, so this is the tab. Summary is the tab. Under summary tab we have this related section, right? So if we want to get it from the form, you can do it. Select the tab, click on change properties. This is the link, or you can get it directly from here. Okay, summary tab, and this is, so we'll try to get it. Tab properties, name is the summary tab, copy, paste. So I am getting xrm.page.ui.tab. This tab I am getting. In this tab, what section I need to get and hide? This is the section. You can copy it from here, or if you have this form design opener, then click on this section, click on change properties. You will see them. Click on copy this name, copy here, and paste it here. So when account is null, then we need to hide. To hide, set visible true means it will visible, set visible false is it will hide. If this condition mismatches, else, then I'll simply copy whole function line, paste it here. Instead of false, it will be a true. Understand this function. If you are using Notepad, then it will be difficult for you. Try to use Notepad++. Paste. Just change the format. File, view, language is JavaScript. Okay. Now if you see function, function name, variable account, here we are using xrm.page.get attribute this value, get value will store here. We are checking if account is null, account field doesn't have any data, then we are hiding. Else, if account contains data, if this condition is not executed, means this will execute. Here we are showing. Now I'll just copy this, copy. Where I need to do, I need to update the JavaScript. This is the code. I will add the code that we have written. Copy this function name. Save. Okay. So we have updated the function, but we haven't registered it. So we'll do one thing. We'll do it on onload. We'll do it on change of the field. Add. This is the function name. Onload. Why? Because whenever I click new, it will validate. If somebody updated the field value, then I need to show. In that case, it will be a field on change. Save. Publish. Let me refresh. Control F5. If you see here, the related section is hidden because account value is null. If I give any value, why it's not showing. Control again. Account name does not contain data, which is null. If it is null, then it will hide. Else, it should show. Why it is not showing? Let us see. I will tell you about this, what I'm doing. Think it is the function is not triggering. Let us see whether it is registered or not. Unload. We have hide related section. Account name, right? We are doing an account name, not company name. Now we'll remove this. Company name is not there. Account name, I have registered it again. Let's check now. Save, publish. Control F5. Okay, account name contains data which is not equals to null. We can see this tab section. If I remove this, it is hidden. If I select any value, it will display. If I remove, section is hidden. Clear?